The galaxy laughed at humanity. Across countless star systems, powerful alien empires whisper among themselves about the humans. Weak, primitive, dangerous only to themselves. They had colonies scattered across dusty planets, ships that barely scratched the surface of interstellar travel, and armies that could barely defend their own world. And yet, in secret, humanity was preparing. Captain Arya Voss stood on the bridge of the stealth ship Sentinel, staring at the stars. Each point of light was a planet, a system, a world under alien control. The aliens believed these territories were secure, protected by fleets thousands of times stronger than anything humanity could field. They were wrong. Her crew moved silently around her. Each person knew their role, their task, their place in the history that was about to be written. No one spoke more than necessary. The tension was thick, almost tangible. Outside the reinforced hull, the galaxy waited, unaware that the human fleet had already begun its final approach. A soft beep interrupted her thoughts. The communications officer, Lieutenant Kian, tapped a console. Encrypted message incoming, Captain. Origin, Earth Command. Arya nodded. Patch it through. The screen flickered to life. On it was Admiral Lorne, his face grim, the lines of age and experience marking every word he spoke. This is it, Arya. The galaxy thinks we are weak. They think we are nothing. But they have underestimated us for the last time. The fleet is in position. Strike orders are final. Move carefully. Move quickly. And remember, the moment we reveal ourselves, there is no turning back. Arya's heart raced. Years of preparation, decades of planning, and countless lives had led to this single point in space and time. Understood, Admiral. We will not fail. The screen went dark. The crew held their collective breath. Outside, the stars glimmered like diamonds scattered across a black velvet sky. Humanity's secret fleet, hidden for decades in uncharted space, was about to emerge. Meanwhile, the aliens were still mocking them. Reports from the outer systems were ignored by high councils and warlords. Humans? Weaklings? They cannot even defend their own colonies. One alien commander had scoffed, waving away an officer's warning about strange ship movements near the edge of their territory. Send a patrol fleet. That will teach them. What the aliens did not know was that the humans had spent years hiding their movements, training in secret, and building ships that were invisible to their scanners. Their fleet was small but deadly, ships faster than the eye could track, armed with weapons designed to strike precisely at alien weaknesses. Humanity had waited silently while the galaxy underestimated them. On the bridge of Sentinel, Arya tapped her console. All units status check. Stealth systems active. Came a voice from a navigation officer. Shields full, weapons ready, said the weapons officer. Engines at optimal speed, added the engineer. Arya's lips curved into a small, determined smile. The moment had arrived. They would not strike randomly. Every move had been calculated. Every ship knew its path, its target, its role in the unfolding plan. And yet, the unknown weighed heavily on everyone. Battles had been fought, but this, the first true strike against a dominant alien power, was different. One mistake could end it all. One wrong calculation could mean the destruction of Earth itself. Suddenly, alarms beeped. Kian pointed at a holographic display. Captain, a scout fleet from the Zord Dominion is approaching. They are detecting anomalies in the sector. Arya's eyes narrowed. The Zord Dominion was a ruthless alien race known for their swift and merciless strikes. Most humans believed even confronting a single Zord patrol fleet was suicide. Yet, here they were, poised to strike an entire alien empire. Deploy the interceptors, Arya ordered calmly. Keep them distracted. Do not engage fully. We want them to think it's a minor incident. The crew sprang into action. Tiny interceptor ships shot out from the hidden bays, their engines silent, their movements precise. Within minutes, they had created illusions on the enemy sensors, ghost ships, phantom signals, false threats. The Zora scouts reported anomalies to their commanders, who dismissed them as sensor errors. The humans smiled behind their consoles, knowing the real battle was yet to come. Hours passed, though it felt like minutes. Finally, the edge of the Zord control system, appeared on the sensors. The main fleet, massive and imposing, moved in formations that would have crushed any normal human vessel. But the humans were not normal. Arya looked around at her crew. Each person's face was set with determination. "Remember this," she said quietly. "The galaxy thinks we are weak. They believe they can ignore us. But they will learn the truth today. Stay focused, stay sharp, and trust each other. Humanity has waited a long time for this moment." The bridge fell silent. The stars outside seemed to pause, as if the galaxy itself held its breath. And then a single thought echoed through every mind aboard the human fleet. They will never see us coming. For many years, the galaxy believed humans were nothing special. To alien empires, humanity was only a small species with limited technology and simple ships. They thought humans were slow, emotional, and weak. But beneath this quiet image, humanity was building something powerful, something the galaxy was never meant to see. Far away from known star maps, hidden beyond nebula clouds and dark space, was a place called a Veil Sector. No alien scanner could reach it. No patrol dared to travel near it. The sector was unstable, full of radiation storms and magnetic waves that confused even the strongest sensors. To the galaxy, it was a dead zone. To humanity, it was the perfect hiding place. Inside the secret region, humanity had created the Black Forge, a massive construction field where thousands of workers built advanced warships in silence. These ships were unlike anything humans had ever made before. They had no shining metal plates, no flashy lights, and no heavy engines. Instead, they were dark, smooth, and silent, like shadows moving through space. These ships could hide even when enemy fleets were right next to them. Captain Arya Voss had trained inside the Black Forge. She knew every system, every code, and every weakness of alien technology. While the galaxy mocked humans, Arya and her team studied alien ships, alien weapons, alien tactics, even alien psychology. They learned where the empires were strong and where they were blind. Now, as the Sentinel moved deeper into enemy territory, Arya remembered the long years of preparation. She remembered the scientists who worked without sleep, the engineers who redesigned engines 5 times over, the pilots who trained in dark simulators with no sound, no light, and no guidance, only instincts. She remembered the soldiers who volunteered, knowing they might never return to Earth. Humanity had suffered too long. Colonies had been attacked, trade routes blocked. Human ambassadors mocked in alien councils. Every insult, every loss, every moment of humiliation had pushed humans to rise higher. Lieutenant Kian turned toward Arya. "Captain," he said softly, "we have final data from the Black Forge. All ships are ready. The fleet is fully aligned." Arya nodded. "Good. It's time." But before she could give a next order, the door to the bridge slid open and Commander Rhea Hale, the tactical expert of the fleet, stepped inside. Rhea was tall, calm, and focused. Her presence alone made everyone sit straighter. "Captain," Rhea said, "I reviewed our full strategy again. The alien empires will not expect an attack here. Their main fleets are positioned far away, protecting larger systems. They believe this border zone is too remote to matter." "Perfect," Arya replied. "That makes them blind." Rhea looked at the holographic map hovering above the central console. It showed dozens of alien installations, supply depots, and communication towers. These structures kept the entire Zorth Dominion secure. Destroying even one would cause panic. Destroying many would shake the entire galaxy. But the human fleet did not intend to destroy anything without reason. Their real mission was not chaos. It was fear. Humanity needed to show the aliens that they were no longer weak, no longer small, no longer silent. The first stage of their plan was infiltration. The ship's Spectre wing moved ahead quietly, sliding through the shadows of a large asteroid belt. Its stealth field shimmered softly as it passed between glowing rocks and drifting ice. The aliens patrolling the area sat in their stations, unaware that enemies were a few hundred meters away. Inside Spectre Wing, pilot Jonah Hale, Rhea's younger brother, kept his eyes on his screen. His ship, vibrated faintly as he moved closer to the alien communication tower. One wrong move, one small noise, and the entire Zora patrol would detect him. But Jonah had trained for this moment his entire life. He whispered, silent as a ghost, and activated the disruption code. A soft pulse traveled through the tower systems. Lights flickered. Antenna signals dropped. Alien officers inside the facility argued with each other, believing it was another sensor glitch. Meanwhile, the human fleet advanced slowly. Each ship had a role. Some were strike ships. Some were data thieves. Others were shield breakers. And then there were Aria's ships, the Spectral Division, the deadliest stealth vessels humanity had ever created. As the operations continued, Arya shared a silent look with Rhea. Everything was going as planned, but the true test was still ahead. Kian suddenly stiffened. "Captain, I'm detecting movement. Large movement." Arya walked to his console. Her eyes widened slightly. A massive alien supply convoy was entering the system. Hundreds of ships carrying weapons, fuel, and soldiers. If the aliens spotted the human fleet now, the entire mission would fall apart. The bridge fell silent. Rhea whispered, "This is bad timing." "No," Arya said calmly. "This is an opportunity." She studied the convoy more carefully. The ships were slow and unprepared for battle. Their defense systems were minimal. And most importantly, they were the main supplier for 3 alien war zones. If humanity cut them off, the Zora Dominion would weaken overnight. Arya turned to her crew. "Prepare a silent interception. If we take that convoy, the galaxy will feel it." Her crew began working fast. Engines hummed quietly. Weapons adjusted their angles. Stealth fields strengthened. Every person aboard knew what this meant. A direct hit to the heart of an alien empire. And without firing a single shot yet, humanity wasn't just hiding strength. Humanity was ready to show it. The convoy drifted closer. The human fleet drifted silently into position. And the galaxy, still laughing, still blind, had no idea what storm was coming. The Zorath convoy drifted slowly across the dark space, unaware that an entire human strike force was hiding only a few thousand kilometers away. Their ships moved in a calm, lazy formation. No shields raised, no weapons active, no sense of danger at all. They believed they controlled the sector completely. They believed no enemy would ever dare attack them here. They believed wrong. Captain Arya Voss watched the alien ships on the holographic display. Bright blue outlines marked the heavy carriers, while smaller red blips showed escort ships. The convoys stretched like a long metal snake across space. "They look relaxed," Lieutenant Kian whispered. "They are," Arya replied, "and that is why they will lose." Commander Rhea Hale stepped closer to the tactical screen. "Captain, our ships are in position. We can strike at any moment." Arya nodded, but she did not give the order yet. She waited, silent, studying the convoy like a hunter watching its prey. She knew the galaxy underestimated humans, but she also knew the humans themselves could not afford arrogance. One mistake, one rush decision, could alert the entire Zorath Dominion. Arya took a slow breath. "No rush. We strike when the angle is perfect." The crew stayed completely still, listening only to the soft hum of the ship. Outside the invisible hull of the Sentinel, space felt colder than ever. Far ahead, on the alien convoy's flagship Corsa Prime, Commander Drex Alara sat in his glowing chamber, half asleep. He found convoy duty boring. Moving supplies from one system to another was not important enough to require his attention. He never imagined that this day would be the day he met humanity's true strength. His officers monitored screens lazily. Sensor readings normal. One of them said, "Another quiet day." Drex smirked. "Of course. Who would dare attack us? The humans? Their ships look like flying scrap metal." His officers laughed. Back in the human fleet, Aria's face hardened. It was time. "Begin the ghost drift," she ordered. Instantly, the engines of 30 human warships dimmed to near silence. Instead of burning bright blue, the engines flickered with a soft, invisible glow. Ship by ship, the human fleet began sliding sideways, like shadows drifting across the night. These were spectral engines, built only inside the Black Forge. Engines designed to move through space without creating any visible signature. The humans approached the convoy from below, from a dead angle where alien scanners were weakest. Pilot Jonah Hale's hands trembled slightly as he guided Spectre Wing through the dark. "I'm close to their sensor field," he whispered. "Just a little more." His co-pilot nodded, her voice steady. "Keep going. They still can't see us." At that same moment, communication towers around the convoy flickered. Rhea tapped her screen. Disruption pulse successful. Their scanners are seeing only static. Arya stood tall. "Good. Prepare for Phase 2. A sharp tension filled the bridge. Everyone knew what Phase 2 meant. The first open attack against an alien empire. No going back. No hiding anymore. Humanity would finally step out of the shadows. Arya raised her hand. All ships locked targets. Across the fleet, weapon systems activated silently. Missiles aligned. Rail cannons charged. Pulse beams hummed with power. But none of them fired yet. They waited, all eyes on Arya. Before she could give a final order, Kian gasped. "Captain, one of the alien escorts is changing its route. They might spot us." Rhea leaned forward. "If it gets any closer, stealth will fail." Arya didn't hesitate. "Jonah, take care of it." Quietly, Jonah swallowed. Understood. His ship, Spectre Wing, drifted upward like a ghost rising from the dark. The alien escort, a small patrol ship named Varric, glided toward his position. Almost in range, Jonah muttered. His fingers tapped a small switch. A thin beam of soft blue light shot from his ship. A neural disruptor, a weapon designed not to explode but to silence. The beam touched the alien ship. Lights flickered inside the Varric. Its engines sputtered. The crew inside dropped unconscious instantly. The ship went dark, drifting harmlessly away. Arya gave a small nod. "Good work, Jonah." But now the window was closing. The convoy was adjusting its formation. The perfect moment for a surprise strike was slipping away. Arya clenched her fist. "This is it." Her voice echoed across every ship. "All units fire." The darkness exploded. Human missiles broke into thousands of tiny fragments mid-flight. Each fragment a mini warhead, programmed to pierce weak spots in alien hulls. Rail cannons launched silent metal slugs that tore through armor like paper. Pulse beams sliced through engines before any alarms could sound. The convoy lit up in a storm of sparks and shattered metal. Inside Cores of Prime, Commander Drex jolted awake as alarms screamed. "What is happening? Who is attacking us? Where are they?" His officers panicked. Unknown ships everywhere. They came out of nowhere. Drex shouted, "Scan them." "We can't. They're invisible to our sensors." One officer cried, "Commander, these are human ships." Silence fell in the alien bridge. Humans? Impossible. Back in the Sentinel, Arya watched the chaos unfold. Alien ships scattered in panic, their formations breaking apart. None of them understood how humans had become this powerful. None of them could track the attackers. None of them could fight back. And Arya knew this was only the beginning. "Focus fire on their carriers," she ordered. "Cut off their supply lines." Pieces of alien ships floated across space like burning debris. Patrol ships fled in confusion. Communications collapsed completely. Kian whispered, "Captain, we just defeated a full convoy in seconds." Arya didn't smile. She only said, "This is the first message. The galaxy will understand soon." Across the battlefield, the human war fleet regrouped, silent and calm, like shadows returning to the dark. The first encounter was over, and the galaxy had just felt the breath of a rising storm. News traveled fast across the Zord Dominion, but this news traveled like fire in dry grass. Within minutes of the convoy's destruction, emergency messages shot across military channels. Officers shouted over one another, demanding explanations that no one could give. Unknown attackers. Sensors malfunction. Stealth ships, thousands of them. Impossible! Humans cannot do this. Yet the wreckage drifting through space did not lie. The convoy was gone. Entire carriers destroyed. Patrol ships dead in the dark. A mission that should have been routine had turned into a nightmare the Zorth officers could barely understand. In the Dominion Central Command Citadel, located on the massive desert world of Zorth Prime, High Warlord Zorathus sat upon his heavy iron throne, staring at the hologram of the destroyed convoy. His jaw tightened, his claws dug into the metal armrest. Beside him, council members whispered in disbelief. This cannot be human work. Humans do not possess such technology. Maybe it was pirates, or another empire trying to provoke war. Zorathus raised a single hand, and the entire chamber went silent. This, he growled, was not piracy, not sabotage, not accident. His burning yellow eyes locked onto the hologram. This was a strike, and it was precise. The room trembled with fear. A timid officer stepped forward. But, High Warlord, the attackers were invisible. No heat signature, no energy trail. Even we cannot build ships like this. Zorathus leaned forward. Then who do you think could hide from us so completely? The officer swallowed. Only the humans, sir, if they somehow advanced. The chamber erupted. Humans? Impossible. They are weak. They have no powerful fleets. They barely defend themselves. Zorathus slammed his fist, cracking the throne. Silence. He spoke slowly, as if forcing himself to accept the truth he hated. Humans have been hiding their strength, their shipyards, their fleet, and now they have revealed their first true strike. He stood tall, his shadow stretching across the council floor. The Dominion has been blind. Across the room, fear spread like a cold wind. For centuries, the Zorth Dominion believed humans were nothing more than stubborn pests. They mocked Earth diplomats. They humiliated human traders. They attacked small colonies and expected no consequences. After all, what could humans ever do? They had no empire, no grand fleets, no terrifying weapons. But now something had changed. Across the galaxy, other alien empires received the same shocking reports. On the crystalline world of Taliax, scholars gasped as they studied intercepted transmissions. Human ships moving without detection? This cannot be real. Is humanity evolving? In the metallic cities of the Polrath Alliance, merchants panicked. If humans can destroy Zorth convoys, they can target anyone. Trade routes are no longer safe. Who knew humans had such secrets? Even the proud and distant Varlic Empire, who rarely paid attention to lesser species, felt a ripple of concern. The humans were underestimated. One general whispered, "We may have made a mistake." For the first time in galactic history, humanity was not being mocked. They were being feared. Meanwhile, far from all these powerful empires, the human fleet regrouped inside a dark nebula. The debris from the destroyed convoy still drifted behind them, glowing faintly in the soft light of distant suns. On the bridge of the Sentinel, Captain Arya Voss observed her crew quietly. They were focused, calm, and ready, but beneath their calm surface, an unmistakable spark of pride glowed. They had done the impossible. They had shown the galaxy a new side of humanity, one the galaxy never expected to see. Lieutenant Kian stood beside Arya. "Captain," he said softly, "we are receiving dozens of intercepted transmissions from alien channels. They're confused, afraid." Rhea Hale crossed her arms. "Good. Let them fear us. They need to understand what we are capable of." Arya, however, did not smile. Her gaze remained sharp. "This is only the beginning," she said. "The first strike will shock them, but the next strikes, those are the ones that will break their arrogance." Jonah Hale's voice echoed through the bridge speakers. "Captain, reconnaissance drones are ready. We can send them across the sector to map the next target." Arya nodded. "Do it." Tiny drones launched from hidden bays, their small shapes disappearing into darkness. They carried no weapons, only cameras, scanners, and silent engines. They drifted like dust particles, completely undetectable. Back on Zorth Prime, panic turned to anger. High Warlord Zorathus growled, "Mobilize the war armada. Every ship, every soldier, every weapon. If humans wish to challenge us, then we will burn their world to ashes. But even as he spoke those words, deep inside his mind, he felt a strange sensation. Doubt. What if humans were stronger than he imagined? What if hidden fleets numbered more than one? What if there were more attacks coming? His claws trembled. Humans were unpredictable, and unpredictability was the greatest fear of any empire. Back inside the nebula, Arya stepped toward the large window that looked out into space. The nebula glowed blue and purple, swirling like a cosmic storm. She stood quietly, thinking of Earth, of the people waiting there, unaware of how fast everything was changing. "The galaxy is waking up," Arya said softly. "They finally see us." Rhea placed a hand behind her back. "And they will see more soon. We are ready, Captain." Arya's expression hardened. "Prepare the fleet for stage 2. We move at full stealth." Her order spread through every ship. Engines hummed. Pilots tightened their straps. Strategists sharpened their calculations. The human fleet moved deeper into enemy space. The galaxy trembled. The shock had begun, and humanity, once underestimated, ignored, and mocked, was now the ghost in the dark that no empire could predict. No one knew where they would strike next. But one thing was clear. The galaxy would never be the same again. The shock wave from the human attack kept spreading through the galaxy like a silent storm. Every empire felt it. Every ruler felt the fear sink deep into their bones. No one had expected humanity to rise like this. No one imagined that humans, once mocked as weak and emotional, could strike with such cold precision. But the truth now stood in the open. Humanity had a secret war fleet, and this fleet did not miss. This fleet did not warn. This fleet did not fear. Ambassador Rel of the Valerian Alliance paced inside the crystal hall of the Grand Chamber. His wings trembled with uncontrollable panic. He had just received the latest scans. The human strike on the Zaldrun fleet was not a random act. It was not a lucky shot. It was planned. It was calculated. And every ship in the Phantom Fleet moved with deadly coordination. "They attacked with silence," Rel whispered. "Not even our high sensors caught them coming." The Valerian High Council gathered around him. Each member looked at the hollow display of the destroyed Zaldrun dreadnought. The wreck spun slowly in the void, broken into giant pieces. Humans said they wanted peace. One counselor hissed. "Yes," another answered. "But we kept pushing them. We kept mocking them. We kept threatening them." Rel swallowed hard. "And now, they have shown what they were hiding all this time." Meanwhile, on a distant human command base hidden behind a dark nebula, Admiral Celine Ward watched the galactic messages flood in. Fear, confusion, demands for explanation, threats, surrender signals. Every empire was speaking at once. Her eyes remained calm. "Our strike has shaken them," said Commander Jace Rowan beside her. "That was the goal," Celine replied. "A warning, not a war." But even she could feel it. The galaxy now saw humanity as something new, something dangerous, something powerful. And power always changed the game. "Admiral," an officer announced, "the Tryson Empire has deployed their border fleets. They are afraid we will move next." Celine nodded. "Good. Fear keeps them quiet." Commander Rowan looked at her with concern. But fear can also start wars. Celine turned her gaze back to the floating screens, showing the Phantom Fleet returning home. Sleek black ships disguised by shadow technology. Engines that made no sound. Weapons that hit before sensors could detect them. "No one wants to start a war they know they cannot win," she replied. Across the galaxy, panic kept rising. The Inca Dominion called an emergency meeting. Their warlord slammed his claws on the table. "Humans hide weapons stronger than ours. They must be stopped." His advisors argued, shouted, demanded action. But deep down, even the warlord knew they could not attack. Not after seeing what humans did to the Zaldrun fleet. "We will wait," one advisor finally whispered, "and pray they do not look our way." In a shadowy corner of the Orion cluster, the pirate King Krax listened to news reports with growing fear. He had once raided human colonies. He had once laughed at their slow ships and weak defenses, but not anymore. Shut down all raids on human space, he ordered. Anyone who touches them dies. His crew nodded instantly. No one argued. No one dared. While the galaxy panicked, humans prepared for the next step. Inside the command center, Celine gathered her top officers. "You all know what this means," she began. "The galaxy now sees us as a threat. They may unite against us. But we are ready," Rowan said. She shook her head. "No, a war like that will cost billions of lives. We must prevent it." "But how?" another officer asked. "By hiding again?" Celine looked at the glowing map of the galaxy. "No," she answered softly. "By showing them a truth even greater than our fleet." Her officers exchanged confused looks. "And what truth is that?" Rowan asked. "That humanity does not want to conquer," Celine replied. "We want respect. We want safety. We want peace. But if peace is not given, we will take what is needed to protect ourselves." A quiet silence filled the room. Everyone understood the message. Humans would not attack without reason, but they would also never bow again. Celine continued. "The galaxy has always believed power belongs only to the old empires. But today they learned something else. Power can rise from anywhere." Far across the stars, the Zaldrun Empire, still furious and humiliated by their defeat, held their own council meeting. Emperor Valak struck the floor with his staff. "This attack cannot go unpunished. We must destroy the humans." But his generals lowered their eyes. "Your Majesty, we cannot find their fleet," one said. "We cannot track their ships," said another. "And we cannot defeat what we cannot see," said a third. The emperor roared in anger. "They are just humans." A general finally spoke with trembling voice. "Not anymore, Majesty. They are something else now." In every corner of space, rumors spread. Some said humans had unlocked forbidden technology. Some said their fleet was made of ghost ships. Some said the humans had allies hidden in the dark. Some whispered that humans were evolving into something far beyond normal species. Whether true or not, one thing became certain. No one underestimated humanity anymore. Back at the hidden human base, Celine stood alone on the observation deck, watching the stars. She knew the galaxy was afraid. She knew wars could break out. She knew enemies were planning revenge. But she also knew something else. Humanity had stepped into a new era, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Behind her, Rowan approached quietly. "What now, Admiral?" Celine turned her eyes to the distant stars and answered, "Now, we prepare for the storm we have created." The galaxy was no longer calm. Every empire knew the balance of power had shifted. Every ruler watched the stars with fear, waiting for the humans' next move. Some prepared for war. Some prepared to surrender. Some secretly hoped the humans would never come near their borders. But no one understood what humanity truly wanted. Not yet. Inside the hidden human command base, alarms suddenly flashed across the control room. Officers rushed to their stations. Admiral Celine Ward entered with calm steps, but her eyes sharpened the moment she saw the holomap. Commander Rowan met her halfway. "Admiral, we have a problem." Celine didn't blink. "What kind of problem?" Rowan pointed at the red lights appearing across the star map. Dozens of them, then hundreds, then thousands. "The galaxy's empires. They are forming an alliance," Rowan said. His voice shook. "All of them, even the ones who hate each other." Celine stared at the display. The symbols of multiple species blinked as they merged into one massive war front. "So they're joining together," she murmured. "To fight us," Rowan said. "They think we're planning to conquer them." A young officer added, "They've named it the Galactic Shield Alliance." Celine almost smiled at the irony. The shield meant to block the humans. "They don't understand," she whispered. "We never wanted their worlds." Rowan stepped closer. "But now they fear you." Fear changes everything. Across the galaxy, the new alliance prepared for the greatest war ever imagined. The Zaldrun Empire repaired their damaged fleets with double speed. The Inca Dominion loaded their bioweapons. The Triton Empire aligned their star cannons. Even the Valerian Alliance, usually peaceful, armed their crystalline ships. The largest armada in galactic history began to move toward one place, the last known location of the human Phantom Fleet. Billions of soldiers, thousands of warships, every species ready to strike, and all of them believed one thing. Humanity must be stopped before it becomes unstoppable. Back on the human base, Selene stood before her officers. "We cannot fight a war against the entire galaxy," she said. Rowan frowned. "Our Phantom Fleet is powerful, but not infinite. And if we win battles," Selene continued, "we will still lose in the end. Too many enemies, too much destruction, too many innocent lives on all sides. So what do we do?" Rowan asked. Selene inhaled deeply. "We show them the truth." The officers exchanged puzzled looks. "Truth," Rowan repeated. "That we built the Phantom Fleet for defense, not conquest," Selene said. "That we wanted to stop bullies, not become one. And that we can end wars before they begin." Rowan shook his head. "Words won't change their minds, Admiral. Not now." Selene looked at him with a strange calm. "I'm not talking about words." Hours later, the Galactic Shield Alliance reached the outer region of the Dark Nebula. Their massive armada formed a wall of metal stretching across the stars. Commanders shouted orders. Engines roared. Every weapon was armed. Across the main channel, the voice of the Valerian ambassador Rel echoed. "Humanity, this is your final warning. Power down your fleets and surrender your war technology. If you do not..." He never finished his sentence. A ripple of darkness spread across the nebula like a living shadow. Then, one by one, the human Phantom ships emerged. Silent, cold, unseen, until the very last moment. There were hundreds, but not thousands. Not enough to face the entire galaxy. The alien armada prepared to fire. But before any shot could be launched, something unexpected happened. A thunder-like hum vibrated through space. A deep force unlike anything known. And then, another fleet appeared behind the humans. A fleet no one had ever seen. A fleet larger than anything the galaxy had imagined. A fleet built of strange white metal that glowed like living light. A fleet with designs no empire recognized. Aliens across the Alliance panicked. Are these more human ships? No, they're different. Where did they come from? What are they? Selene's voice finally came through the main channel. "Alliance forces, stand down. You are greatly outnumbered." The Zaldrun Emperor shouted, "Impossible! Humans cannot build ships like these." Selene answered in a calm, cold tone. "They didn't." A quiet shock spread through the galaxy. Rowan's voice followed. "This fleet belonged to a lost human colony, one you all thought died long ago. But they survived. They evolved, and they watched as you mocked their homeworld. The White Fleet's weapons glowed with immense energy, far beyond anything seen in known space." Selene continued. "They sent us a message 2 weeks ago. A single sentence. If the galaxy threatens humanity again, we will return." A terrifying silence filled the Alliance. "Now you have threatened us," Selene said, "and they have returned." Inside every alien warship, fear crushed the hearts of admirals and soldiers. The Alliance had come to attack humanity, but now they faced something far worse. A human civilization advanced beyond their imagination, hidden for centuries, watching, waiting. The Valerian ambassador finally spoke, voice trembling. "Admiral Selene, what do you want?" Selene looked at the two fleets, her Phantom ships and the mysterious lost colony ships. She answered with calm authority. "Respect, peace, and the end of fear on both sides." The White Fleet brightened, aiming at the Alliance. One wrong move, and the galaxy would end. The ambassador swallowed hard. "Then we agree." The entire Alliance lowered their weapons. No shots were fired. No battle took place. War ended before it began. Because for the first time in galactic history, humanity was truly understood. Not weak, not foolish, not conquerors. Just a species that would defend its own, with shadows, with silence, and with allies the galaxy never knew existed. Celine looked at the stars. "The galaxy will remember this day," she whispered. And she was right. From that moment on, no one underestimated humanity again.